Here's a brutal truth most people won't tell you. You're not broke because you're lazy. You're not poor because you didn't go to college. The real reason most people will never be rich has nothing to do with effort or education. It has everything to do with how they think. In this video, we're diving deep into the uncomfortable truths that separate the rich from everyone else. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just raw mindset shifts and harsh realities that keep most people stuck in the same financial cycle for life. You're watching Money Strategies with Prince, where we turn smart ideas into smarter income. Hit subscribe and like if you're ready to build real wealth. Truth number 1. You trade time for money forever. One of the biggest traps people fall into is the time for money cycle. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. That's how jobs work, and that's how most people live their entire lives. But here's the thing. Wealthy people don't think in terms of time. They think in terms of systems, ownership, and assets. When you're stuck trading your hours for a paycheck, you'll never escape the grind. You'll only earn what your time is worth on someone else's terms. Rich people? They build things that make money without their time. Businesses, investments, royalties, digital products, anything that pays them repeatedly. Until you break the habit of selling time and start building value, wealth will always be out of reach. Truth number 2. You've been programmed to be poor. Let's get real. The system wasn't built to make you rich. From the moment you started school, you were taught to obey, follow routines, and be a good employee, not to think creatively, build wealth, or question the system. You were taught to get good grades, go to college, get a job, and retire at 65. Sounds familiar? The problem is, that formula no longer works. Jobs are less secure, degrees don't guarantee success, and inflation eats your savings. But most people never question this, because it's all they've ever known. They don't realize they're running a race on a broken track, and that's exactly how the system keeps you poor, by keeping you comfortable enough not to rebel. Truth number 3. You live above your means, not below it. Here's a harsh truth. Most people are broke not because they don't earn enough, but because they spend too much. Lifestyle inflation is a silent killer. The moment someone gets a raise, they upgrade their car, move into a bigger place, or start eating out more often. It becomes a cycle of more income equals more expenses. Wealthy people play a different game. They live below their means, even when they're rich. They delay gratification. They reinvest in income-producing assets. They don't care about impressing others with material stuff. And that's exactly why their money multiplies. If you can't manage $1,000, you'll never manage $100,000. Truth number 4. You avoid risk and stay poor. Most people avoid risk like a disease. They're terrified of losing money, so they never invest, never start a business, never try something new. But here's the thing. Avoiding risk is the riskiest thing you can do. Playing it safe is the fastest way to stay average. Rich people? They understand that risk, managed wisely, is the gateway to opportunity. They know calculated risks lead to higher rewards. They fail, yes, but they also learn, adapt, and come back stronger. If you're not willing to take risks, you're not willing to grow. And if you don't grow, your income doesn't either. Truth number 5. You have no financial plan. Let me ask you a simple question. What's your exact plan to become wealthy? Not, I want to make more money someday, but an actual written, trackable plan. Most people have no clue. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, maybe save a little, and hope for the best. Rich people don't hope. They plan. They know their net worth, their monthly cash flow, their investment goals, and their exit strategy. They budget, track, and optimize. They treat their money like a business, not a hobby. If you don't have a clear roadmap, you're just drifting. And guess what? Nobody drifts their way to millions. Truth number 6. You want to look rich, not be rich. In today's world, it's easier than ever to look rich while being broke. Fancy clothes, iPhones, vacations, leased cars, it's all available on credit. And social media has made it even worse. People would rather flex for strangers online than actually build wealth in silence. But truly wealthy people? They don't need to show off. They focus on freedom, not followers. They buy assets, not liabilities. They're more likely to drive a Toyota and own 10 rental properties than lease a BMW they can't afford. If your goal is to look rich, you'll spend like the rich but end up broke. But if your goal is to be rich, you'll build quietly until the results speak for themselves. Truth number 7. You think money is evil. One of the deepest mindset blocks keeping people poor is the belief that money is evil, or that rich people are greedy. If you subconsciously believe that money corrupts, you'll always push it away. You'll feel guilt when you make more. You'll sabotage your own success. But here's the truth. Money is neutral. It's a tool. It simply amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, more money lets you give more. If you're creative, it funds your vision. If you're strategic, it gives you leverage. Money is not the problem, your mindset is. Truth number 8. You think short-term, not long-term. Most people are obsessed with quick wins, the next paycheck, next month's rent, or this week's sale. But the wealthy are playing a long game. They think in decades, not days. They're willing to sacrifice now to build massive results later. This is why they invest instead of spending. Why they build assets instead of chasing trends. Why they read books instead of scrolling TikTok all day. The short-term thinkers chase dopamine. The long-term thinkers build dynasties. Truth number 9. You don't study wealth, you consume entertainment. Want to know how to tell someone's future? Look at how they spend their free time. Most people spend hours on Netflix, gaming, gossip, or mindless scrolling. Wealthy people, they study, they learn. They consume content that teaches, not distracts. They read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, listen to podcasts about investing, take online courses, join masterminds, and learn from mentors. They're not waiting to be lucky. They're preparing to be ready. If you want to earn more, learn more. Period. Truth number 10. You don't take action. This is the final truth, and the most important. Most people will never be rich because they never start. They watch videos. They take notes. They get excited. Then they go right back to doing nothing. Execution is everything. Information without action is just entertainment. The wealthy act. Even if they're scared. Even if it's imperfect. Even if they fail. They know that motion creates momentum. So stop planning and start moving. Whether it's investing your first $50, starting a side hustle, or reading that finance book, you've got to take the first step. The truth is simple, but not easy. Most people will never be rich because they don't think like the rich, act like the rich, or plan like the rich. But you can change that, starting today. Hit like and subscribe if you're serious about escaping the cycle and building real wealth. Which of these truths hit you the hardest, and what are you going to change starting today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your plan.